Hey guys, my name is Aristotle and welcome to my channel. In this trip, we're exploring the best of Amsterdam, from stunning architecture and great immersive experiences to beautiful canals, fascinating museums, and incredible views. Stay until the end for a bonus look at some amazing extra attractions. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Let's go! Our first stop is This is Holland, and it's such an incredible experience. It's a great place to stop and learn the history of Holland before going out to explore it. The 5D flight makes me feel like I'm actually flying over the Netherlands, from the windmills and tulip fields to the cities and coastline. It gives me a whole new appreciation for how beautiful and diverse this country is. There are 4 shows in total, and the highlight for me is the 9-minute ultimate 5D flight. It feels so real, I almost forget to breathe. We're on our way to the Rijksmuseum, the largest art museum in the Netherlands, and I'm already excited. When I walk through it, I'm really struck by the building itself. It's from 1885, so it's like a journey through history, mixing Gothic and Renaissance styles. After the huge renovation that wrapped up in 2013, they brought in some modern touches that really opened up the space, making the galleries feel a lot brighter and less cramped. When I walk into the Rijksmuseum's lobby, the atrium, I'm instantly impressed by how bright and spacious it feels. The huge glass ceilings let in so much natural light, and the smooth stone floors give the place a clean, elegant vibe. I really like how the historic brick walls mix with the modern white suspended grids. It creates such a cool contrast. It's a welcoming and awe-inspiring space that makes me excited to check out the rest of the museum. As I walk through the gallery, I'm really struck by how grand and beautifully detailed everything feels. The soaring ceilings, ornate arches, and elegant decorative columns give it this majestic and timeless vibe. The walls and ceilings are filled with vibrant murals and rich historical paintings, each telling a piece of Dutch history. One thing that really stands out to me is the magnificent stained glass windows. When the sunlight pours through them, it fills the space with a warm, colorful glow. I also noticed the dark polished wood, the intricate stonework, and the beautifully patterned tile floors. It honestly feels more like stepping into a historic palace or a grand cathedral than just visiting a museum. It's such an inspiring and atmospheric way to start the visit. As we walk into the Rijksmuseum, I'm immediately struck by how massive and beautiful it is. I've heard so much about the museum's collection, but seeing it in person is something else. I wander through the galleries and spot works by Rembrandt, Vermeer, Frans Hals, Jan Steen, and even Vincent van Gogh. Standing in front of Rembrandt's The Night Watch, I can't believe how big and detailed it is. It feels like the painting is alive. But the museum isn't just about paintings. As we explore deeper, I find elegant sculptures, intricate furniture, colorful Delftware ceramics, and old ship models. One thing that really surprises me is a historic Fokker aircraft which was actually designed as a fighter plane during World War I. I wasn't expecting to see something like that here. It's a cool reminder of how much history is packed into this place. Then, when I look up, I spot something completely different. Skylight by Studio Drift. These silk lights slowly float up and down from the ceiling, opening and closing like giant glowing flowers. It's so calming and mesmerizing, and it adds this magical, modern feeling to the museum's classic atmosphere. While exploring the Rijksmuseum, I step into the library designed by Pierre Cuypers in 1881, the oldest art history library in the Netherlands. It feels like discovering a hidden gem. The towering iron bookcases, spiral staircase, and soft light pouring through tall windows create a magical, almost sacred atmosphere. It's peaceful, beautiful, and full of history, like stepping back in time. Every room feels like a new discovery. And even though I'm not an art expert, I find myself getting pulled into the stories behind everything. Visiting the Rijksmuseum honestly feels like walking through time. It's something I won't forget. After visiting the Rijksmuseum, I head over to the Stedelijk Museum, and it feels like stepping into a completely different world. The building itself is striking. Part of it is the original 19th century structure, and the other part is this ultra-modern white extension that looks like a giant bathtub. It's bold and impossible to miss. The moment I walk into the Stedelijk Museum, the first thing that grabs my attention is the grand white staircase. It's wide, bold, and almost sculptural, a real centerpiece in the lobby. The way the soft, elegant lights highlight its curves makes it feel almost like a piece of modern art itself. It's so inviting, leading visitors smoothly up toward the main galleries. The atmosphere inside the museum feels fresh and vibrant. The Stedelijk is all about modern and contemporary art and design, and as I explore, I see works by some of the biggest names: Van Gogh, Mondrian, Picasso, Warhol, and Banksy. There's everything from colorful paintings and abstract sculptures to bold installations and experimental videos. It's not stiff or overly formal. It feels alive, creative, and open. It's a place to feel it. Every corner, every space, from the grand staircase to the galleries, invites you to experience creativity in a fresh, exciting way. It's definitely one of those places that leaves you inspired long after you. Visiting Edam Lookout is such an exciting experience. After a quick ferry ride from Central Station, I step into a high-speed elevator. And as we shoot up in just 22 seconds, there's a cool light show inside that makes the ride even more fun. At the top, the 360-degree view of Amsterdam is incredible. Canals, rooftops, the river, and even the distant countryside. The highlight for me is Over the Edge, the swing that sends me flying over the edge of the building. It's thrilling and unforgettable. The rooftop has a fun, relaxed vibe with a sky bar and lounge areas where I can soak in the view. You can even try Over the Edge at sunset, and honestly, it's the most magical time to do it. Swinging over the edge while the sky is glowing with shades of orange, pink, and purple is an unforgettable experience. We're going to start our day by having breakfast at the Happy Pig Pancake Shop. Here, I get to enjoy freshly made Dutch pancakes and Belgian waffles packed with delicious fillings and toppings. Everything is made right in front of me using organic ingredients, and the cheerful chefs make the experience even more fun. We ordered a Dutch pancake and it looks amazing. It's rolled up, and when we start eating the pancake, it's delicious and yummy. I highly recommend giving it a try if you're in the area. Now we move on to Keukenhof, and honestly, it feels a bit surreal. Everywhere I look, there are endless rows of tulips, daffodils, and hyacinths bursting with color. The air smells so fresh and sweet, and everything is so perfectly arranged, it almost doesn't feel real. I follow the winding paths past peaceful ponds, colorful flower beds, and even a charming old windmill that looks like it's straight out of a postcard. Every corner has something new. Different colors, patterns, and a few cool art sculptures hidden among the flowers. It's a lot to take in, but in the best way. Keukenhof is only open for a short time each spring, so being here during peak bloom feels really special. I can't help but stop every few steps to take photos. It's just that beautiful. Honestly, it's one of those places you have to see in person to really believe. The next stop is a beautiful boat tour through Amsterdam, and it's such a peaceful and magical experience. As we slowly glide along the charming canals, I'm surrounded by elegant old houses, romantic arched bridges, and quiet, picturesque streets. From the water, everything feels more intimate and timeless, like stepping into a painting. The canal water shimmers softly under the daylight, and the gentle sound of the boat cutting through the water makes it even more relaxing. We also take a night boat tour, and it's absolutely breathtaking. The twinkling city lights reflect beautifully on the water, and the gracefully illuminated bridges create perfect golden arches across the canals. The historic streets glow softly, and the entire city looks unbelievably enchanting at night. Cruising under the lights of Amsterdam is a moment I'll never forget. We are heading to Dam Square, one of the most iconic and lively places in Amsterdam, located right in the heart of the city. It's a historic plaza that has witnessed centuries of Dutch history and has become a must-see spot for any visitor. The square is surrounded by stunning architecture, bustling shops, and cultural landmarks, making it a popular gathering place for locals and tourists alike. At the center of the square stands the Royal Palace, an impressive building originally built as the City Hall in the 17th century. Another landmark nearby is the National Monument, a tall white column dedicated to the victims of World War II, which stands proudly at the south end of the square. Since it's the Christmas holiday, the square is even more magical at night, with lots of beautiful Christmas lights illuminating the area, adding a festive touch to the historic surroundings. If you love cheese, you have to stop at the Amsterdam Cheese Company. It's a cozy and inviting shop that celebrates the best of Dutch cheese. The moment I walk in, the smell of fresh, rich cheese fills the air. The shelves are beautifully lined with colorful cheese wheels. I get to taste some amazing ones, from creamy young cheese to bold, aged Goudas. It's a fun and tasty experience. Next, we visit the STRAAT Museum. To get there, we have to ride a ferry. During our ride, we enjoy the beautiful view of the city and watch the birds flying over the water. It's such a peaceful and refreshing experience. When we arrive, we find the STRAAT Museum tucked inside a massive former shipyard building at NDSM Wharf. The space feels raw and industrial, which perfectly matches the bold, edgy art inside. STRAAT is all about street art and graffiti. The walls are covered with massive, colorful murals created by artists from all around the world. As I walk through, it feels like strolling through a vibrant, open-air gallery. Every piece is full of energy, creativity, and powerful messages. After exploring, we take a break at the cozy restaurant inside the museum. It's a great spot to relax, grab a coffee or a snack, and soak in the artsy vibe all around us. Sitting there, surrounded by huge artworks, just adds to the whole experience. STRAAT is truly an inspiring and unforgettable place, perfect for anyone who loves bold modern art. When you're in Amsterdam, you don't want to miss the Heineken Experience. It's honestly one of the most fun and memorable things I did on my trip. Right when I walked into the lobby, I knew it was going to be something special. The ceiling was covered with Heineken beer bottles, arranged in a stunning, artistic design. It felt like a modern beer cathedral, and it set the perfect mood for what was ahead. The experience is set inside Heineken's very first brewery, which opened back in 1867. Although they stopped brewing beer there in 1988, they transformed the building into a super interactive museum, and it really brings the brand's story to life. As I walked through, I learned all about the history of Heineken, how they brew their beer, and how their iconic marketing evolved over the years. There were a lot of hands-on activities too. I got to experience a tasting session where they taught me how to properly enjoy a Heineken, not just drink it, but actually taste it like a pro. One of the coolest parts was the Brew You ride. It's a 4D experience where they turn you into the beer. I stood on a platform and the room around me came to life, and visuals showed the journey of a beer being made, from ingredients to bottling. It felt like I was being malted, brewed, fermented, and even packaged. Let's enjoy this. That is amazing. I also got the chance to design my own personalized Heineken bottle, which made for a really awesome souvenir. And there were tons of fun photo ops, like sitting inside a giant Heineken bottle and posing in old Heineken ads. We also got to ride a fun stationary bike that gave us a lively and immersive vibe, making us feel like we were really biking through the charming streets of Amsterdam. The whole experience ended at their rooftop sky bar, where I got to relax and enjoy 2 cold Heinekens, included with the ticket, while soaking up the atmosphere. It took me about 1.5 to 2 hours to explore everything, and I loved every second of it. The vibe was young, energetic, and full of life. Definitely something I'd recommend if you're ever in Amsterdam. At the end, we received our very own personalized Heineken bottle. A perfect souvenir to remember the experience. Now, let's move on to the NEMO Science Museum. The building is impossible to miss. It looks like a giant green ship rising out of the water. I find out it was designed by a famous architect, Renzo Piano, which makes it even more interesting to see up close. As soon as I walk inside, it feels like one big playground for curious minds. There are 5 floors, and almost everything is hands-on. I'm not just standing around reading signs, I'm touching things, trying experiments, and learning without even realizing it. I make giant soap bubbles and explore so many creative, interactive exhibits that keep me busy for hours. Every corner feels like a new discovery, and it's impossible not to get caught up in the fun. What I really like about NEMO is that even though it's popular with families and kids, it doesn't feel childish. It's genuinely fun, interesting, and even a bit inspiring. Perfect for adults too. I leave feeling like I've learned some really cool stuff, and honestly, it brings out my inner kid a little bit. One of the best parts is the rooftop. Even if you don't go into the museum, you can still visit it for free. It offers an amazing view of the city. Walking around Amsterdam feels so easy and relaxed. The canals are everywhere, lined with tall, narrow houses that lean just a little, giving the whole place a cozy, lived-in feeling. Many of the buildings are colorful, which makes everything feel cheerful. As I head toward Damrak and Amsterdam Central, the city feels even livelier. The view of Damrak is striking. Wide, open space, with the iconic canal running through it, surrounded by beautiful historic buildings. Boats cruise by, and people are out enjoying the day, snapping photos, or just hanging out along the water. I can't help but notice all the bikes. They're everywhere. And some are even decorated with flowers. They look so pretty and make the streets feel even more charming, like something out of a postcard. Every now and then, I cross small, beautiful bridges with stunning views of the canals. The reflections on the water look amazing, especially when the sunlight hits just right. Later, I also walk at night, and it feels absolutely magical. The bridges light up, the canals shimmer under the lights, and the whole city feels like it's glowing. It's a peaceful, beautiful way to see Amsterdam. Amsterdam has this way of making me feel like I'm part of its story, a perfect mix of old-world charm and lively energy that's unforgettable. If you are in Amsterdam, it's good to go to Rotterdam as a bonus. It's only about a 1-hour Eurostar ride. Now we are here at Rotterdam, and our first stop is the cube houses. When I get to the cube houses, I can't help but stop and stare. They look so strange and creative, like giant yellow cubes balancing on their corners. It's honestly one of the most unusual places I've ever seen. These houses were designed by Piet Blom in the late 1970s, and you can tell he really wanted to do something different. As I walk around, it almost feels like I'm inside some kind of playful, futuristic village. The houses are packed close together, tilted at all these crazy angles, and it's so colorful and lively. Blom designed them to feel like a little community, with each cube representing a tree in a forest. Right after, I wander over to the nearby Markthal, which we will go to later. The whole area is buzzing with energy, and it really shows how bold and modern Rotterdam is. Visiting the cube houses is definitely one of the highlights of my trip. After exploring the cube houses, I walk over to the Oude Haven area, which is just a few steps away. It's one of the oldest parts of Rotterdam, and you can really feel the charm as you stroll around. The harbor is lined with historic boats, cozy cafes, and lively restaurants. There's a great mix of old and new here, traditional ships floating right next to modern architecture. From here, I catch a glimpse of the impressive Erasmusbrug with its sleek, modern design that looks stunning against the city skyline. Not far from it, the bright red Willemsbrug stands proudly, adding a bold pop of color to the view. Both bridges give the area a dynamic, vibrant feel, blending Rotterdam's historic heart with its modern spirit. After exploring the cube houses and Oude Haven, we head over to the Markthal, which is just a short walk away. From the outside, the building looks super modern. It's shaped like a giant arch, and the entire front and back are made of glass. As soon as I step inside, I'm blown away by the massive, colorful mural that covers the entire ceiling. It's filled with huge images of fruits, vegetables, and flowers, and it feels like you're standing inside a giant piece of art. The atmosphere is lively, with lots of food stalls, little restaurants, and shops tucked under the arch. You can find everything here, from fresh produce and local cheeses to delicious international foods. From here, we eat some tapas. And it's such a nice way to take a break while soaking in all the energy and colors of the place. And that's a wrap on our trip through Amsterdam and Rotterdam. Thanks for coming along. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next adventure.